It's just me, myself, and I. I'm back. It's been a minute. You know it's been a minute because I already need another haircut, but what can you do? What can you do? A little background. I know what y'all been waiting for, so don't worry. We're going to get right into it, but I just want to explain myself, you know. The reason why I didn't put these videos out sooner is because certain things started to happen in my personal life where I had to focus up. I had to lock in and correct things, okay? So I just couldn't have the mental capacity to focus on making some videos for this channel. Because when I make videos for this channel, I like to be in a better mood, you know, higher spirits and stuff like that, because I don't want to, you know, bring the mood down, and it's going to make the videos worse if I ever do that. So right now, I feel a lot better. I feel more rejuvenated. I feel ready to take on these breakdowns of the sagas, yes. So without further ado, let me go ahead and, oh God, it's been so, you see all this shit in the air? It's been that long. This shit's just been fucking sitting there. Ah, God, I kind of don't want to put it on. It's going to get me sick or something. What the fuck? Oh, yes, it's been a while since I've donned the mantle of awkrates, but now I feel rejuvenated and better. Now I feel like I can enlighten you. So, without further ado, we're going to start where it all begins, the Troy saga. Now, as you all know, the notepad is back, and whenever the notepad is in play, that means I got a lot to say. Look at my little horse drawing. You like it? My little Trojan horse. I like it. I think I did a good job. He's saying nay. Anyway, something to note here, okay, is I put together this video. If you guys want it, I'll upload it separately as like maybe like an unlisted video if you want to check it out. It's essentially a big compilation video of all the songs with animatics, and it's edited really nicely. So if you kind of want it, you could think of it as like an Epic the Musical movie or something like that. I think it just works better for what I'm trying to do. I want to give you guys visuals for what I'm talking about to help better understand. And I also want to just show appreciation to a lot of these animators that do this shit, because these people understand the story very well. So I put my favorite animatics in here that I feel like amplify a lot of the things I see. And I'm like, damn, this person gets it. That person gets it. Holy shit, that person gets it. You know what I mean? So I'll try to credit everyone in the description. I couldn't do the overlays like I did in my main channel video because that would have been a lot of work, and you all don't want to, yeah, the video's already taken so long to come out. Oh God.
Alright, my brothers, listen closely. Tonight we make the Trojans pay.
So what I really like about the song, I revisit it very often. The Horse and the Infant is pretty goated, okay? So it does a great job of establishing the when, where, and why. Because this is the first song. You gotta, you know, relate to the audience. Okay, where are we? What are we doing? What's going on here? And I think it does a great job of showing, I guess, what it means to be a captain from the perspective of the crew and from the perspective of Odysseus, because this is like the one song where he is the most captain he ever captained. And as we go throughout the show, that starts to deteriorate. He starts to stop being as much of a leader figure as he is in this song here. I mean, this song, he's calling everyone by name. He's doing everything in his power to make sure everyone lives. I mean, just this plan and the way it's devised to, you know, show up in a Trojan horse and kill everyone at night, it's clearly devised so that way no one gets hurt. Like, that was clearly his thinking. Is it aligns with the safety of everyone. We want to make sure everyone gets home back nice and safe, okay? But along the course of the story, those motives start to change, and I don't know.
They're growing old and yet you're still here.
Do what I say and you'll see them again.
Yes, sir!
Diomedes will lead the charge. Agamemnon will flank the guards. Menelaus will let our mates through the gates to take the whole city at large.
Teucer will shoot any ambush attacking.
Little Ajax will stay back.
Nestor, secure Helen and protect her.
Neo, avenge your father, kill the brothers of Hector.
Yes, sir!
This is what I really love, is that the way he hypes up the crew is just reminding them, listen, this is what you're fighting for. Remember this. This is why we're here. We have to make it home alive. But at the same time, he's also saying that to himself, you know? Like, this is why he has to make it home alive. For Penelope,
I fight for all.
What do you live for?
look at that. Everyone else
everyone else, the whole crowd, they have to remind him. They have to rechant what he's saying because he's dazed and confused. Every time this man thinks about Penelope, he's like, oh shit, oh my bad, my fault. Who was that?
A vision of what?
Very key here is that the gods reveal themselves to Odysseus. This is straight up divine intervention. If they never did this, right? If Zeus never came and spoke to him, he would not have killed the kid. Okay, so it's clear that we don't know what Zeus is cooking up, but they have a plan for this man. All right, they need him to do this thing, and they need him alive to go on this journey that he's about to embark on.
I don't think you're ready.
He said, fuck that, I am ready. That's his cockiness. That's his pride. Something that is going to be very prevalent throughout this whole thing. Odysseus, he doesn't like to be told what to do. He knows, he's like, I can kill this motherfucker. Zeus, I know what you're saying, but I got this, okay?
No more. I know that I'm ready.
I don't think you're ready. Spoiler alert, he wasn't ready. Love the music box.
It's just an infant. It's just a boy.
This is the son of none other than Troy's very own Prince Hector. Know that he will grow from a boy to an avenger.
I could raise him as my own.
Burn your house
Send him far away
to
from
find you wherever.
Make sure his past is never known.
Please don't make me do this. Don't make me do this.
What I love about the line, don't make me do this, is that even though he says that, Zeus doesn't make him do a damn thing. And that's why I love Zeus so much, is because this isn't a command. This is merely a suggestion. And the reason why Zeus, you know, does it this way is because Zeus is so confident that, like, this is all I need. I see the potential within you. You will do this because I know how you think. All I have to do is just push you in the right direction. And that's basically what he does in this song. He does it in Thunderbringer. I mean, this is Zeus's ball. This is how he plays, bro. This is how he plays. Look at all the war and bloodshed. What I really love is that despite the subject matter of the song itself, we start very sweet and somber because Odysseus is really wrestling with this choice and, you know, the potential guilt that this is going to put on him. But is it worth it? Is there any way to justify it? And that's what I really, really dig about Just a Man.
How could I hurt you?
Look, he's wrestling with it, man. How could I hurt you? And this leads us into the Just a Man motif. This is the first time you hear it. And like I said in my previous video, Just a Man only appears when someone is brought to their limit, you know? They have to come to terms with something that's making them do something they really, really don't want to do. But I'm just a man. I can't.
Who's trying to go home? Even after all the years away from what I've known. I'm just a man who's fighting for his life.
Oh my God, I love it so much. Fighting for his... The delivery is so good. So good. Like, it just perfectly exudes. Like, he's already guilty before he's done it. And that's why in my mind, it's like, this is like the moment where he's like accepted. Like, yeah, I gotta kill the kid. I gotta do it, man.
Deep down I would trade the world to see my son and wife.
Where have we heard that before? Deep down. What does he say here? Deep down I would trade the world to see my wife and son. Listen, it's always been there. It's always been in him. Deep down, he would trade anything to see Penelope again. And that's been revealed to you since song 2. We all knew this was in him. Zeus knew it was in him. He knew it was in him. He just didn't want to accept it.
But when does a comet become a meteor? When does a candle become
I love this visual. GG fucking cooked, bro. The visual of the baby, like as a seed, planting and sprouting into this tree, this tree of decisions that ultimately will inevitably end in killing his wife and son. And he has to visualize it in this way to be like, this is the justification. I have to do this because if I don't do this, I don't save my wife and son. This baby, yeah, he looks cute and cuddly now, but this motherfucker turns into a monster. And I gotta look at it like this. Yeah, he's cute and cuddly, but that's a monster. I have to take him out.
When does a ripple become a tidal wave? When does the reason...
So good, man. The new orchestration of this builds to this moment so much better. Like the that's not in the original.
When does the reason become the blame?
That's my favorite line. Favorite line. When does the reason become the blame? It applies to every single harsh decision that he makes in the entire show. The reason is to see my wife and son. But it's also the blame for every single atrocity or bad thing that he does, you know? Like, why'd you kill a baby? To save my wife and son. Why'd you send your crew to their deaths? To see my wife and son. Every single thing. It's the reason has become the blame. That was my immediate thought when I was listening to Thunderbringer. Was like, holy shit. The reason has become the blame. Jay! Baby's so cute. Aww.
I'm just a man.
Oh no, the baby dead. The baby dead.
600 men.
I really like this motif of the 600 men. This is one of my favorites just because every single time it comes back, it's like, holy fuck, this shit hits every time. It's so unique too. 600 men. You know, we got to really reiterate that so that way you understand the stakes that are at play. 600. That's a big number. It's hard to make that many people feel meaningful. So we got to reiterate constantly. 600 men. 600 men. You know, you got to really, you know, visualize that. Visualize 600 men. You know, that's a lot of people. Because we might not make it home with all of them. So what I think is really key for this song, and especially moving forward, is that we start to get introduced to our supporting cast. And I think it's very important the very first lines you hear from them when they appear, because it tells you immediately a lot about them.
Captain Eurylicus.
I love that they announce him. Eurylicus. Oh, okay, this is Eurylicus. Okay, cool.
600 men.
First words out of his mouth. 600 men. That's his priority. Number one. The 600 men. This is, it immediately tells you, okay, this is where his priorities lie. He cares about the 600 men. Okay, interesting. All right, what about those 600 men?
600 men.
600 men with big mouths to feed.
Okay.
And we've run out of supplies to eat.
Captain Polites. I love the way he said Polites. He's so happy to see him. Polites. You know, it really, you know, establishes a bit of an understanding of like, okay, you know, this is a friendly dynamic here.
Look! There in the distance, I see an island. I see a light that faintly glows. Maybe they're people lighting a fire. Maybe they'll share some food, who knows?
Now, that's very optimistic, you know? So, hey, maybe they're people lighting a fire. Maybe they'll share, you know? Like, this tells you a lot about the way he sees the world. This very brutal and fucked up place, you know? Clearly, he spent all his time on Ithaca and hasn't been outside that island, but the world's a very cruel place. But, you know, he's very optimistic about things. You know, he's like, hey, you know, maybe they'll share, you know? Who knows?
Something feels off here. I see fire, but there's no smoke. I say we strike first. We don't have time to waste.
Really like that because it also shows how each person thinks. You know, Polites is very optimistic. He's thinking on the bright side of things. Odysseus is very skeptical. He's thinking, he's like, why would it be like that, you know? And then Eurylochus, he's just like, no, the logical thing is just to fucking go and kill them all and just take their shit, you know? It's like, what are we trying to make friends for? Like, we're hungry. We just want to go home.
Try to find a way, no one ends up dead. We don't know what's ahead.
This is why I understand Eurylochus. He is a logical thinker. He's thinking, bro, like, you see fire over there, but we don't know what's out there. Why are just the two of you gonna go over there? That makes no sense. You have all of us, just 600 of us. We could go out there, and it's more safer that way. But, you know, Odysseus, after doing what he just did, he's not in the killing mood, okay? You know, he's in the fuck around and find out kind of mood, and we'll see how far that gets him.
You can relax, my friend.
Huh? Or like this. You can relax, my friend. Immediately, off jump. You know, he could tell. Yo, you're so tense. Chill out. It's fine.
Try to relax, my friend.
I'm fine, Polyphemus.
This life is amazing when you greet it with open arms.
People sleep on this song, okay? Open Arms is low-key one of the most important songs in the entirety of Act 1. Bar none, okay? We're going to get into why that is the case later. But what I got to say is, you know, this philosophy of open arms, this is Odysseus at his lowest point. You know, he just killed a baby, and he's thinking to himself, maybe this Warrior of the Mind shit isn't as cool as it all was propped up to be. You know, that's kind of where his head is at. So here we have his friend offering him an alternative, a different way of looking at the world, and you know, he's considering that.
My men will turn this place into blazes.
See? This life is amazing when you greet it with open arms.
And this is what I'm talking about. You know, the philosophy of open arms in a perfect world, in a very nice and kind world, is great. But unfortunately, this world does not favor the weak. You know, if it wasn't for Odysseus, Polyphemus would have died, or he would have ate the lotus and he would have been stuck here. You know, Polyphemus is not built for this world. Unfortunately, that's just the truth of the matter. And Odysseus, he understands that this world is cruel, and that's why he's looking at everything with skepticism. That's why he's like, okay, they're offering us food, but let's actually critically like analyze what the fuck is actually going on here. And then he notices that, oh, you know, this is lotus in this fruit, like, duh, like they want us to become like them, you know. So he understands this, but by the end of the song, he starts to think, well, it is nice to live like that. I mean, look at how happy this guy is. I want to be like that. You know, it seems nice.
Light up the world, here's how to start. Greet the world with open arms. Greet the world with open arms.
Greet the world with open arms.
Really love that, man. It's like now he's considering it. You know, thinking like, maybe this could help me cope. Maybe this could help me right this wrong. You know, like this suffering that is plaguing me. You know, he can't sleep, he can't, you know, wreck with the guilt of what he's done. And he's like, well, maybe if I start to see things this way, I can actually come to terms with that. Athena said, no the fuck you can't. What's this shit I hear about being happy? Nah, you a warrior of the mind. Man the fuck up.
Have you forgotten the lessons I taught you?
Athena!
Have you forgotten to turn off your heart? This is not you.
I love this version way more than the previous one. I didn't fuck with the original Warrior of the Mind that much. I thought it was cool. It was cool. But this version, it gives it much more of an identity. That was my biggest issue with the previous one. It felt kind of generic. Now, lyrically it wasn't, but you know, the actual like instrumental track, it just didn't have much going for it. It just felt, you know, like something I've heard before, which is different compared to a lot of other Jay's tracks. Most of Jay's tracks don't sound like anything I've ever heard before. So it was a little underwhelming that Warrior of the Mind sounded like a song that I may have heard somewhere else, you know. It just sounded kind of samey to something else. But oh my god, the fuck bro. Brilliant addition, brilliant. It gives the song so much more life, such a more identity to it.
Have you forgotten your purpose? Let me remind you.
For those who don't know, who are not locked in, let me lock you in real quick. So Athena is in his head right now. She has this ability called quick thought. Whenever you hear that piano, that ding 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 ding, that's Athena. She's trying to get in his head, right? So that's what we're hearing right now. She's in his mind. She's like, hey, since you're not locking in, let me remind you about memory 2674 real quick. And let me remember this deal that we had. Yeah, refer to that.
A boy whose mind rivaled the bars on the wheel.
He's so cool.
Let's go!
Maybe one day I'll reach him and we can build him.
Oh my god, the piano, dude. Oh my, Do y'all hear this piano? Listen to this piano. Hold on. Here it comes. Here it comes.
Maybe one day I'll reach him and we can build
Oh my
his
God.
skills as I teach him.
I was lying, and you fell for my bluff.
I really like that. You know, we got to show how cocky and prideful he is at a young age. That way it establishes, yes, this is him at his peak cockiness and pride, right? And it establishes this is Odysseus, you know. He takes pride in like being able to solve shit, figure shit out, read people, you know. So later on, when we see a much more mature version of him do that, you know, it kind of lines up. You know, it's like, okay, well, this is his character. This is how he is.
Hold on, enlighten me, what's your name?
You first, and maybe I'll do the same.
Nice try, but two can play this game.
Nah, don't be modest. You know you're a goddess, so let's be honest. You are Athena.
Badass in the arena.
Maybe one day they'll follow me and we'll
And this shows the naivete, right, of young Odysseus. He sees this relationship as, oh, sweet, god friend, awesome, you know? She sees it as a more, like, serious endeavor, like, I need you to lock in, okay? You're gonna be the warrior of the mind. You're gonna be the greatest warrior that ever lived. I need you to understand that. But how could he? Bro's like a teenager, bro. He doesn't know what the fuck's going on. He's like, oh, shoot, a god friend? Cool, this shit's awesome, you know? But he doesn't understand, you know, what she's truly asking of him, and he won't understand that until much, much later.
don't disappoint me.
He's like, yeah, what do you know, bitch? What do you know? I'll do shit my way, bitch.
Over here.
Odysseus shot the arrow. Just something to note. He shot the arrow. Let me go to my notes.
Look at all this food. Look at all these sheep.
Something I wanted to point out, okay? And this is like the only thing, like quite literally the only thing that I kind of prefer in the original version of the Cyclops saga is this part with Polyphemus. In the original version, it's very musical, like where he's like, look at all this food. Like, I don't know why. It just, my ears love it so much. In this version, you could tell he went for a more grounded and more like realistic take on this whole like saga. So even there's a part later where a guy, like the first guy that gets killed, where he's like, he's got a club. Like in the original, it's kind of goofy because he's like, he's got a club, and then he gets fucking killed. When this one, he's like, he's got a club. You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand the choice, but I just had to point that out. This is like literally the only thing that I kind of wish stayed was the look at all this food. I really love that shit, bro, but it's gone. It's whatever, you know, it's whatever.
Why would the Lotus Eaters pass up on all this food?
Hey there. Hey, this is me, your pal. Well,
We're just travelers.
you know how it goes.
We come in peace.
You killed my sheep.
Oh, yeah. I did do that, huh? That's crazy. You know what's funny about this, okay? A lot of people forget, like, the context of this situation, and the perspective of the Cyclops looking at this is like, you know, there are strangers in my cave. That's one thing. They shouldn't be here. That's what he's thinking. 2, he says, we're just travelers, we come in peace, yet he killed my sheep. Okay, first impression, you're a liar. Okay, already don't like you. Already don't like this guy. So immediately from frame 1, chances of survival for them was like at a 0. like you're a liar, you're in my home, and you've killed something that is very precious to me. Like, what do you think is gonna happen next?
What gives you the right to deal a pain so deep? Don't you know that pain you sow is pain you reap?
Love that line, bro. The way that it's delivered, like, don't you know? Like, no one taught you this shit? That this is how it goes? You do this happens? These are the repercussions? All right, whatever. Whatever.
Time to drink your blood over where you stand. Take from you like you took from me.
There's been a misunderstanding.
First off, I got a shout out, bro. I got a shout out. These versions are so much better because you can actually hear the instruments, like the like you can't really hear that in the originals. So I gotta really shout out to that. I really like the way you can actually hear the fucking instruments in these new versions. What I really love about this, the whole time in that exchange, Odysseus is like so quick-witted. He came up with this plan literally in seconds. Okay, now the problem is impromptu plans never go quite as planned. Okay, you know, the Trojan horse thing was meticulous. It was set up over, you know, a lot of time to prepare. So that went swimmingly and everyone survived. But this was something that was concocted in seconds, you know, under stress. So it makes sense that it doesn't quite go as planned.
Yes, you shall be the final man to die.
What?
Watch out!
Yeah, put that shit in there.
My brothers, the rest of our fleet, they wait at the beach. And if we're defeated, their good is dead. Straight ahead, that is who we're fighting. No backup, no chance for support. So draw out your swords, our foe must be thwarted right here and now. Show me how great is your will to survive. 600 lives at stake, it's just one life to take.
Gotta remind them, what are we fighting for? This is a leader.
Surround him!
Surround him!
Attack from behind! Keep distance in mind! And stay in his blind spot and strike his heels!
Strike the heels!
Show him that we're deadly! Exhaust him!
Exhaust him!
Don't let him get close!
Look at this teamwork, the camaraderie. This is what it means to be a captain.
Captain.
Enough.
He's got a club.
This is not a part of the plan. Odysseus is frozen, stuck in time. Orders are not on his mind.
Now die!
That shit never gets old. That's one of my all-time favorite songs, bro. That shit is so peak. Okay, so Odysseus froze, and based off of Eurylochus's reaction to how this all went down, he never freezes, okay? But he froze this time because this was different. He lost his boy, Polyphemus, his best friend, died right before him. And in his mind, giving commands was the last thing. It was the last thing he could think about. You know, he's still trying to put two and two together, trying to understand but we were winning. Things were going well. How could this happen? I failed. I failed him. You know, that's what's going through his mind. I failed my friend.
Mark my words now.
He's so cold. Stone face. You know why?
But Captain, what do we do with our fallen friends?
It's time to lock in. Suppress. Suppress, suppress, suppress.
For the fallen and afraid, we are not to let them die in vain.
Polyphemus cannot die in vain. I must carry on. He lives on through me. And this is his coping mechanism. This is Odysseus' way of coping with the death of Polyphemus, because he doesn't get to grieve him. No, he can't. Like, right now, we have to keep moving. We'll make it home. Don't worry. I got it. I got it.
Mark my words now.
So cold. Stone face. He's about to lock in.
But Captain, what do we do with our fallen friends?
Nope. Suppress it.
Remember them when the fire begins to fade. For the fallen and afraid, we are not to let them
Die in vain. Very key. We are not to let them die in vain. Polyphemus cannot die in vain. I must carry on his legacy, his philosophy, it lives on through me. And Odysseus uses this to cope. He doesn't get a chance to grieve. He suppresses it and suppresses it and suppresses it until a certain moment later. But he suppresses it. And we're going to see how he does that moving forward. Okay? Just trust. Just rock with me. Let me cook.
Remember that we're the ones who carry on. Turn into a giant spear.
Let's kill him.
His body.
That's an emotional reaction. Let's kill him. You know, they all want revenge off the rip, which is important for later. This is a very emotional reaction. But Odysseus, he's like, we can't do that. We can't do that. For other reasons. But he's going to, you know, shift it logically. If we kill him, we'll be stuck inside. I love that they draw him closing his eyes. And he takes... This is very key. I hope that Jay, whenever he gets this like done officially, that he takes on this choice. That for whatever reason, a lot of animators took on this choice. I don't know if this was like written in the transcript or whatever, but he takes on Polyphemus' headband and he takes it with him. He carries it on, and that's very symbolic for, you know, him not letting him die in vain. I'm gonna carry on your legacy. I'm going to be the one to do it. You're gonna live through me. Hide.
Who hurts you?
Captain.
Thank you, 1Z2s. I like that name, 1Z2s. So here's Eurylochus using his logical thinking brain. He's like, listen, there are more of them. We could barely fight one. Let's just go, bro. Like, the opening is clear. We could just leave. But Odysseus, he came here for those sheep. And we're not leaving here without those sheep.
Forgotten the lessons I taught you. He's still a threat until he's dead. Finish it.
No.
No?
What good would killing do when mercy?
I'm sorry, did he just say no? I love the way the music illustrates her emotion, right? You know, she hits him with the no, but then the piano, like she's like, I mean, like, do I need to remind you again? Do we have to go back to memory 1674? Do we have to go back?
Don't!
Hey, Cyclops!
He said, I'm gonna show you a lesson, okay? You've been teaching me all this time. It's time I teach you something. Watch this.
Remember us! Remember me!
Whoa, okay. Well, hold on. Whoa, maybe you shouldn't say... Okay, well... Okay, yeah. It's pretty cool, but... Okay, did we have to BM? Oh, wait, no, don't say that!
Odysseus!
No. You don't fuck up. Listen, all right. You know, we get it. You're a prideful guy, and you wanted to make a statement in front of Athena, in front of your god friend, and be like, listen, watch this. But oh my god, did you have to leak your addy? Did you have to do that? I wouldn't have, me personally, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have doxed myself. You know, I mean, that's your biggest op, and you just literally doxed your address. But hey, me personally, wouldn't have done that. Okay, so before we get into my goodbye, what I really like about this song is it's pretty much like a breakup song. Because basically what it is, you know, both parties are just saying shit to piss each other off. You know, they're angry, they're frustrated at the situation, so they're just I'm gonna hurt you right now. How about that? And the other person's like, well, how about this? You know, what about that? And then eventually it just ends with them being like, you know what? I didn't like you. I didn't need you anyway.
You've grown soft. Your dead friends can attest.
Hey, don't say that about my friends.
I warned ya, and you failed.
This is our breaking up.
So
Now we're
I'm
done.
gone. This way, you'll know what your place is.
And this is the thing. From her perspective, it's like, since when does the student try to teach the master, right? You know, she was trying to tell him, listen, you need to kill him. I'm telling you, for a good reason. And then he uses that as a moment to try and teach her a lesson. Like no, you're wrong. Watch me show you. Clearly, this is not working. Time to sever ties right now. And this is Odysseus saying, I wanted to break up anyway, so actually, I'm dumping you right now.
That's just like you. Why should I be surprised? Selfish and prideful and vain. Unlike you, every time someone dies, I'm left to deal with the strain. What's a title that a goddess could lend? If I'll never sleep at night, I'll remind you I saw you as a friend. but now we're done. This way, you're out of my head now. This way, you won't plague my life. This way.
Look how cocky he is. Listen to this build up.
This is my goodbye.
So good.
With hope so close, we must keep pushing forward.
One track minded. This is my favorite thing about this song, okay? This song is just nothing but tension between Odysseus and Eurylochus, right? If you really look at it that way. You know, even the title Storm, it applies to both contexts, right? You have Storm representing the actual storm. You got Storm representing the actual turbulence and feelings and emotions and whatnot, because you know, Eurylochus is starting to look at Odysseus differently since what happened and what played out with the Cyclops. And you're going to get into that more here, because everything in this song from Odysseus' perspective is, guys, I know this looks dangerous, but trust me, we got this. You know, like, this storm might be the craziest storm you've ever fucking seen, but trust me, if we just keep pushing forward, we'll make it. It's fine. Also, like this detail here, Eurylochus literally gets cut off mid-sentence when he says full speed ahead, and Odysseus just comes in and is like, nah, head towards the island.
Full speed ahead towards the island, but avoid the crashing waves. Tread where the tide is flat, and then you will be safe.
Captain, we will capsize with these waves, our fleet will fail. Have them follow my ship, I'll ensure that we prevail.
Look at that. Look at the way he talked to him. Okay? So Eurylochus, like I said, he is in favor of making sure everyone survives, the entire crew. There are multiple ships. This is a fleet of ships, right? Odysseus is worried about his ship, and he's like, listen, have them follow me. Like, if they follow me, they'll be fine. You know, if they just do what I do, they'll be fine. And Eurylochus is like, bro, come on, be realistic, bro. He's like, there's 6 ships, bro. We all can't perfectly follow what you're doing. I mean, I get what you're saying, but it's like, bro, be realistic. Like, the other ships, they not like you, bro. Easier said than done.
We're taking too much damage.
And see, he notices it. He's like, bro, we're taking too much damage. And then Odysseus is like, nah, we'll beat this shit.
Eurylochus, grab the harpoons, as many as you can find.
What do you have in mind?
We're gonna shoot for the sky.
What?
This is what I mean, right? He is no longer acting rational, you know? And you gotta keep in mind, you know, he's been his second in command for a long time, so he has a great understanding of Odysseus' character and like how he typically would handle a situation like this. And he's looking at him, he's like, what? Like, bro, what are you talking about? like grab the we're just going to the island. We don't know what the fuck's up there. We're just going, okay? I change the plans. I got like he's looking at this logistics. He's like, bro, what's going on with you? Like, this is weird. This is out of character. It's one of the most important songs. Lock in. So taking it back to Eurylochus. After this crazy decision making that's coming from Odysseus, he's like, look, his friend just died. Maybe this got him acting a little weird and off base. Let me try and level with him. Let me try and speak to him as a friend.
What's your plan?
I'm gonna climb to the top and ask him for a hand.
Not really a plan, but okay.
Have faith, friend, we've come this far.
Yes.
Look at that. He is talking like Polites. That is what he's doing. Like, this is how he copes, bro. He literally is letting Polites live on through him. And I think Jay literally just posted a couple days ago a TikTok talking about this, how like in the actual instrumentation, you could hear the open arms shit in this song. So I was locked in way before. Just letting y'all know, I was locked in way before. But I saw it and it confirmed my suspicions, okay? This is Odysseus channeling Polites. You know, like I said previously in the Cyclops saga, I have to carry on his will. He lives on through me, and that's his way of coping. He can't grieve his friend. He has to, you know, I am Polites now. Don't worry, it's fine.
How much longer till the show goes south?
Everyone's taking notice.
How much longer till we all fall down? You rely on wind and people die on it. Whoa.
No, don't remind me of that. Don't remind me of that.
I still believe that we could be
Do you believe that though?
from the heart and see what starts.
And what will we do when it tears us apart?
He reaches for Polyphemus' fucking headband, bro. So good. Please keep this shit in whenever this gets adapted and whatever. This is like the coolest thematic storytelling, and it keeps going, bro. You animators, y'all kept putting this shit in there, and it hits every time. He's reaching for Polyphemus' fucking headband. He's like, no.
Where is this coming from, my friend?
I don't want to think about that.
You're like the brother I could never do.
He sees him falling apart.
We all fall down. You rely on wit, and people die on.
Look, he's backed into a corner, bro. He's like, shit, okay. He has no answer.
Thank you for the concern, but brother, I can assure you.
He's saving face right now, playing it up. It's fine, guys, come on. It's me, I'm your captain.
I took 600 men to war.
Remember when I did that? You guys remember? Just come on, just have a little friendly chat. Now you're about to see the real Odysseus.
I can't have you planting seeds of doubt.
I can't have you disagreeing each route. I need you to always be devout
and comply with this, or we'll all die in this. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Real Odysseus is scary, y'all. He's scary. This one's very key, y'all. Pay attention to this one. I'm about to get into some shit. Also, Gigi, this is like top 3 animatics. I love this one. You did such a good job.
I give the fire enough to stay burning. Let's play a game.
A game?
That's what I'm serving. And if you win, you will get what you're yearning.
Deal.
Take a look.
He accepts the deal. Almost at face value. He doesn't question her too much about it, right? Because he's in that mindset of greeting things with open arms. So he's going to greet her with open arms. And he's going to be positive about this because he's thinking, well, maybe if I try being positive things will happen to me. And, you know, this is where his headspace is at, right? And, you know, obviously he just lost connection, you know, with his one god friend. And he's like, well, who needs her? You know, she's whatever, right? Maybe Miss Aeolus, maybe you could be my new god friend. Maybe you can be the new Athena. Who needs that girl anyway? You know, we could be friends. I've been friends with a god in the past. So, hey, but this is that optimism. And this type of optimism is not suited for a leader. Does anyone see Aeolus as like a kid? That's like my interpretation, or the way I see the character in my head is like a mischievous kid. I don't know if anyone else sees it that way. It could just be me, but I just want to put that out there. Maybe, hey, comment down below if you see Aeolus as a child.
Friends turn to foes in rivalry.
Listen to what she's saying. Friends turn into foes in rivalries. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. This is like huge foreshadowing to the Thunder Saga. Like extremely, just in your face, right? But as it pertains to the Ocean Saga, like I was saying, this is all about trust. Trust is a two-way street. If one person isn't giving the other person reason to trust them anymore, then the other person is going to start acting on their own and betraying the other person's trust, because that's just how it goes, right? And Eurylochus has been put in a situation. You know, he knows how Odysseus operates. Like they said, friends turn to foes in rivalries. Your enemies are actually your friends. Your friends are your worst enemy. At least they have the potential to be. You know why? Because they know everything about you, your ins and outs, how you'll react to certain things, your weaknesses. All of that is in Eurylochus' hands. And on top of that, he is a man that has power. He's the second in command. You know, he is the one out of all the crew that, you know, if they want to start a mutiny, he can make that happen. And, you know, not to get, you know, into the future of things, there's a video where I do talk about the Thunder Saga, but you know where that goes. So, like I said, this is all about trust, and trust is waning. So you might be wondering, why did I use this? Why is the TikTok clip showing up? Okay? So, this is very key to my argument and my, you know, perception of this song and this saga in general. So I use the TikTok because Jorge likes to work with the limited amount of creative stuff that he has, you know. Through TikTok, all he can do is film himself and have other people film themselves and make it into a video. But why would he choose this song to do this with? You know, because not every song he does this with, you know. Nowadays, he's, you know, getting the animatics and stuff like that. But I think it's very key that the only people that speak to Odysseus in this clip are, I don't know how to say their names, forgive me, Perimedes and Elpenor. It's Just those two. Based off of audio and just the TikTok itself, I don't hear anyone else's voice but them two. So that leaves me to, believe that there aren't any other crew members there. It's just them two. Maybe they tailed and tagged along behind him and they met him at the edge of the island or what, I don't know. Okay, but my interpretation is that it's just them two meeting him. So Eurylochus is not here. I don't think he heard this message. I don't think he was here to receive it. I think it was literally between these three and he's like, hey, don't tell anyone about this shit. This is what it is. Let's just keep this between you and us. And like I said, it's about trust, right? This is something he should have shared with the entire crew, but yet he chooses to share it with just these two. Now, these two men, you're led to believe that they're the ones that snitched. They're the ones that said something they shouldn't have said. But who knows? They could have kept their mouth shut and not said anything, right? And Eurylochus could have, on his own accord, decided, you know what? F all this secrecy bullshit. Like, this is BS. We should know. And then he decides to open the bag.
Open the bag. Let's see what you got.
No, do not! Everybody listen closely. See how this bag is closed. That's how it's supposed to be.
This is the real Odysseus coming out. Like I said, he comes out when he needs to get a little serious. He did this in Luck Runs Out. The real Odysseus, the scary one, he came out. Now he's coming out because, y'all want to get your grubby hands on this bag. No, the fuck you're not. Everybody listen closely, okay? This is what's happening, and this is how it's supposed to be. I think the choices in the lyrics are pretty key. He's very clear with his words. There's no leaving it up to interpretation. There's no like, hey, like, the bag has this in it. We should not open it. No, this is how it's supposed to be. Don't touch this shit, okay? This is the real Odysseus. Animation's so beautiful. Pay attention. Time of day. It's nighttime. Okay. Daytime.
For 9 days I've stayed wide awake.
For 9 days I've stayed wide awake. 9 days. To me, that's pretty key. There really isn't a real reason for Jay to specifically have that in there to get the point across. For me personally, if I'm Eurylochus or just various members of the crew, our captain has been making very questionable decisions. He seems to be kind of off. Emotionally, he's kind of not there or not like how he used to be. And now he's been wide awake for 9 days, hasn't slept once. He looks like a crazy person. And he's just guarding this bag. Everyone is going to look at him like he's insane. They're going to be like, yo, I don't know what the fuck's going on with Odysseus. Eurylochus, you might want to go check on him or something's not right here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. He's been clutching on this bag for 9 days and he's not talking to anybody. So, and Eurylochus, if I was getting put forth that information, or even if I was just thinking about it, especially the way he talked to him. Think of the last time he talked to him, the way he talked to him, the sternness and like the seriousness and almost like, whoa, okay, all right. Yeah. Like you're going to be thinking like, all right, something's wrong here. Okay. And I would get curious too. I would probably open the bag. That's just me being real. If I was in Eurylochus' position and I didn't have all the information because I'm being withheld information, vital information, right? Yeah, I'm gonna probably open the bag because I'm like, I don't know what the fuck he's on.
They're opening the bag! Wake up!
So I want to point this out, okay? Because a lot of people, when I was talking about Scylla, and I was saying that I think Odysseus knew exactly who opened the bag. So here's why I think that. If you look at the cover art for the Ocean Saga, you see it's a fleet of ships, multiple ships, right? I mean, 600 men. They all can't fit on one ship. There's multiple, obviously. The bag was clearly opened on their ship. That narrows down the possibility of who did it dramatically. It does, okay? When you take into account Luck Runs Out, the person that was having doubts, and how things were going, in my opinion, if I was him, it'd be pretty obvious who did it. Or at least I would be able to nail it down to a couple suspects. And then when you get into the Cersei saga too, once you get there, then it's like unapologetically obvious. I mean, obviously, like, what else would he have to apologize about? Like, come on.
Oh, Odysseus of Ithaca! Do you know who I am? I'm left without a choice and without a doubt. Yes, the pack of wolves are swimming with the shark now. I gotta make you bleed, I need to see you down. But before you go, I need to make you learn how ruthlessness is mercy upon ourselves. But before you go, I need to make you learn how
So he's here to teach him a lesson, right? It's not about him stabbing his son, right? I mean, like, sure, that's disrespectful, right? But what's even more disrespectful is leaving him to live like you're some self-righteous being when we all know how that went down. Odysseus is feigning ignorance here, but we know what went down. You came into his cave, you came and shot his favorite sheep, and then you stab him in the eye and then do this BM, you just fucking emote toxically on him and then leave and dip like you're the good guy in the situation? Fuck no. Listen to what he's trying to tell you.
ourselves. You are the worst kind of good, 'cause you're not even great.
He's spitting right now, he's spitting.
You are far too nice, mercy has a price. It's the final crack, we're about to break the ice now.
I love that line. It's the final crack, we're about to break the ice now. Like, bro, he's like, I'm gonna say this shit one more time. I'm gonna say it one more time, and you're hopefully it gets through in your fucking head. All right, let's go. Listen to this shit. Hold on.
And now it is finally time to say goodbye. Today you die, unless of course you apologize for my son's pain and all his cries.
This is a test, right? Him extending the offer of like, hey, like, unless you apologize. This is a test to see if he was actually listening to anything he said, right? This whole song was him teaching him this lesson about ruthlessness. And this is the whole reason why Athena failed, right? It's because this lesson was missing from Odysseus's playbook. He hasn't lived and experienced enough loss or enough failure to understand that this is a necessity of life. Right? She understands that. He doesn't. He's naive like that, right? Poseidon is here to actually teach him this lesson, right? So this whole song, he's been spewing it. He's been telling you exactly why this is important. And now he's saying, okay, let's actually test him. Did he listen to a single thing I said? So he's like, all right, if you apologize, then hey, I won't hurt y'all. What will he do?
Poseidon, we meant no harm. We only hurt him to disarm him. We took no pleasure in his pain. We only wanted to escape.
That's cap. That's cap. Come on, Odysseus. Have you learned nothing? Have you learned nothing from what I've been telling you? Come on now, right? He was talking about some, we didn't mean no harm. First off, I didn't hear a sorry. If you listen to what he said, I didn't hear a fucking sorry, okay? So he's not sorry for what he had to do. He's justifying it. He's like, listen, we just wanted to survive, so I just did what we needed to. We didn't mean, to do it, and we took no pleasure in it, which is a fucking lie. You took pleasure in that shit. That's why you had to stand up all triumphantly and say, remember me. Come on now. What you think this is? You think the Cyclops didn't tell Poseidon bar for bar what happened? He told him, and you're about to find out.
Ruthlessness is
Die. This is what you get. This is what you deserve. Their lives are on you.
you done.
You did this.
I am your darkest moment.
Yeah. I remember that shit. My son, he told me about that shit. You remember when you said that to him? It's pretty ironic now, huh? You got lucky. You got very lucky. But this is not over.
remember me.
So, something I want to talk about is a lot of people blame that happening on Eurylochus, which you could argue, yes, he does share some of the blame. He shouldn't open the bag. But Poseidon would have never been on their ass. He would have never been after them if the situation with the Cyclops was handled differently. That you cannot argue, you cannot dispute. If Odysseus killed the Cyclops, Poseidon wouldn't be after them. Thus, if Eurylochus opened the bag, it would just delay their trip, but they wouldn't be, all those men wouldn't have died, right? This is very key going into this next song. This is why I'm bringing this up, right? Because I think Puppeteer has multiple meanings in this song. But there is a shared level of guilt between the two after this, okay? Eurylochus feels guilty for opening the bag and putting them in a situation where something like that could have occurred. Odysseus feels guilty because he feels like he has failed as a captain and that the blood of those men is on his hands, which is true. Both are true. Both are responsible for what happened, right? I would still argue that Odysseus is ultimately the one responsible for all the men dying, right? Like, ultimately he is. Because, I mean, that just wouldn't have happened if he didn't fuck around and find out with the Cyclops, right? And start BMing and chanting shit like he's the top dog. He's the GOAT. He's neither man nor mythical, right? He should have kept his fucking mouth shut, right? Anyway, I digress. Puppeteer. Love this song, okay? I'm going to plant this seed. I'm going to promote this idea. Puppeteer, the more and more I listen to it, I think the meaning of Puppeteer carries on multiple meanings. Obviously, Circe is meant to be the Puppeteer because she's, puppeting the strings and turning the men into pigs and whatever, right? But I also think Odysseus and Eurylochus are being puppeted with their guilt. And their guilt is causing to do certain things that normally they wouldn't, right? Odysseus specifically, he's sitting there on that island and he's racking with guilt and he's trying to figure out where did he go wrong, what could he have done to do better, but he's still going to carry on that ideology of Polites. Even after what just happened, the lesson has not hit. It hasn't sunk in. And Eurylochus, he's not messing around anymore, okay? He is challenging Odysseus directly, in the song, directly on his decision making. And because before in Luck Runs Out, he challenges him, he tries to, but he does it with a more kind, like, I'm gonna speak to you as a friend kind of thing. In Puppeteer, it's still a part of that, but he's also like directly saying like, bro, don't do this. Like that is like literally what he's saying. And I think he's 100% valid, and we'll get into that. So let's just run this shit. Again, GG. Beautiful, beautiful art, GG.
Captain, I have something that I must confess.
You can't tell me, after this exchange of dialogue, that Odysseus doesn't put 2 and 2 together, that he opened the fucking bag? Come on. Like, we know how smart he is. He knew. At least from this song, minimum, moving forward, he knew that Eurylochus opened the bag. He knew, okay? I mean, even just listen to how this exchange goes.
Until it is said I cannot rest. Captain,
Eurylochus, go make sure this island is secure.
But Captain,
there's only so much left we can endure.
Whatever you need to say can wait some more.
Of that I'm sure.
Okay.
Of that I'm sure. Listen, he's already in an emotional wreck because he's dealing with the fact that all these men just died, and he's also dealing with the fact that, bro, my journey has been delayed by so much time. He's wrecking with these two things, and he's there's so much going in his mind. I can't deal with that right now. Like, you telling me that you opened the bag and all that shit, that's good for you and to rectify your guilt and how guilty you feel. But me personally, I can't deal with that right now. Trust me, you might set me the fuck off if you told me some shit like that. Just go somewhere else, please.
Power that awaited inside.
What did this palace hide?
Sir.
I love that pause because like I can literally visualize it, right? It's like he's like dragging it on because he knows how like embarrassing it sounds or how ridiculous it sounds. So he's, sir, like, before I tell you directly, let me just build you to what I'm actually about to say, okay? It sounds crazy. Just let me get you there.
We are weak to a power like this.
What was it?
A woman.
What?
She had us in just 2 words.
Come inside.
Damn.
Go ahead and rest wherever you lie.
And this is why I like Eurylochus. He's a realist, and he knows when things are too good to be true, right? Obviously, she seemed nice, so he's not gonna stop them from going in there because it's like, okay, things seem fine, but I'm gonna stay back because I don't know what the fuck's going on here, okay?
This is the price.
And it wasn't quick.
We pay to live.
She turned our men
The world is not
from men to pigs.
and to forgive.
She changed them.
I've got all
You notice how he's trying to emphasize that, right? He's trying to emphasize it wasn't quick, and she turned them from men to pigs. Listen to what I'm saying, Odysseus. This shit is crazy. She's like magical or some shit.
No, I don't play on Puppeteer yet.
We have to go save them.
Have to go save them?
No, we don't. Look at all we've lost and all we've learned. Every single cost is so much more than what we've earned. Think about the men we have left before there are none. Let's just cut our losses, you and I, and let's run.
He's being so realistic here, okay? A lot of people see this as him just wanting to ditch the men. It's not even about that, bro. Be realistic. We're just men. What the fuck are you going to do? That's how he's looking at it. He saw what happened. He saw how she turned them into pigs. He's thinking, bro, even if you defeat this woman, like, there's no way they're turning back without some sort of divine intervention. But how is he supposed to know that something like that would even be possible? Think of his perspective. What's going to happen? You're going to go in there and you're going to just ask her to turn them back? That's not going to happen. You're going to go in there and fight her? Well, I saw how strong she is, and I know how strong she is. That's not going to go well. Like, logically thinking, there's no way. Like, he understands how, witty and strong Odysseus is. He understands that, but he's looking at this situation. He's like, dude, there's no way. There's literally no way you can go in there and save them. It's impossible. That's his mindset. So he's trying to, reason with him with logic. Like, look at all the men we have left. We just lost all these men. We lost 3 here. Like, let's just focus on getting everyone else home. We fucked up. It's like nothing can be done. That's his mindset. And it makes sense. It makes logical sense.
Of course I'd like to leave now. Of course I'd like to run.
But that guilt is getting to him.
Knowing everything we've done.
Holds his head. The head down.
I can hear her still,
No one will find
and her voice deceives.
their way between.
What if she can't be killed?
My nymphs and I.
Will we choose to leave?
I love this. He's challenging him further. Normally in the past, he would just let him go. Kind of like what he did with the Aeolus, right? He kind of tried to convince him, but the moment he told him no, like, I have to try, then he's like, all right, fine. But this situation, he understands. He's like, listen, I have to challenge you on this. Like, since you want to go do this, like, tell me directly, what's your plan? You're the captain. What's your plan? And this is the response.
I don't know.
Of course.
I don't know. Oh, the captain, hearing your captain say, I don't know, that's concerning.
I've got all the power. No, I'm not a player. I'm a puppeteer.
So then he challenges him again.
She's a clever witch,
This is the price.
and she's hard to slay.
We paid it all.
It's a game of wits,
We draw the line.
but you don't have to play.
Watch from above.
I have to try.
You didn't have to try nothing. That's him wrecking with his guilt. He's trying to right or wrong in his head, fix things by doing a bunch of rights, but he didn't have to. He didn't have to. He felt he had to, and that's putting the crew at risk. It's putting everyone at risk doing that. If Odysseus dies, they are pretty much fucking hopeless on how to get home. So, yeah, this is the moment where, like, all trust is almost practically lost. As I said, divine intervention.
I must say, What a brilliant speech you gave.
Who goes there?
Just a friend who could help you save your men. A foe like Circe's not to be messed with. You want to beat her, you need the blessing of a certain god. Divine intervention, someone who's not afraid to send a message.
Hermes?
So, like I said, divine intervention. There was no way Eurylochus could have predicted some shit like this would actually happen. But the fact that it does happen implies that, yes, he is still being overwatched by the gods. They're still watching his every move. And you could see them being like, yo, send Hermes down to give him this shit. He's gonna fucking die. You know what I mean? Like literally Odysseus, he fails without Hermes' help. He actually just does. Like there's no way you could argue that, like, yeah, he fucking beats Circe or makes it out of there without Hermes coming in to fucking help him. It's clear that they saw that shit was gonna go awry, and they're like, bro, send Hermes down there and help that dude, bro. He's about to make some stupid ass decision.
A taste of the power, wouldn't you like to use more than words? Deep in the night, the fight lasts for hours. You can be hurt or you can beat her. Wouldn't you like to have some other magic? Wouldn't you like your outcome preferred? Deep in the night, the fight can be tragic. I'll help you conquer her.
Something I want to point out is, you notice how whenever the gods are proposing something to anyone, it's always a matter of, we're not going to make you do anything. It's always, we're just going to propose an offer to you and in hopes that you'll take it, right? That's kind of how it's always gone. With Zeus and the horse in the infant, he doesn't straight up tell him, you kill this kid for me, please. He doesn't say that. He just tells him some information that he believes will be enough to make him do it himself. And Hermes is also just extending this offer, like, wouldn't you like this? Wouldn't you want this? Like, is this something you'd want? Like it's not like, hey, here, take this so you can beat her, right? It's never like that. And it's very consistent throughout the whole show, and I really love that. It's very nice.
And I call this route Holy Moly.
Wouldn't you like a taste of the power? Wouldn't you like to use more than words? Deep in the night, the fight lasts for hours. You can be hurt or you can be hurt.
Hermes! Thank you.
Don't thank me, friend. You very well may die. Good luck.
I love the cinematics so much. You see the nymphs, the pigs. Immediately, it shows you what's at stake. He's like, okay.
Did you do something to them?
Who, me?
Once again, like, he's greeting her with open arms in a sense. He's not directly accusing her. He's just saying, like, hey, I understand. My men can be kind of dumb sometimes, and they may have done something to cause you to do this, but I've just heard this rumor going around that, like, you turn them into pigs or something, but that's not true, right? But if it was, like, would you know something about that?
I've got people to protect, nymphs I can't neglect, so I'm not taking.
I really like how, so there's a lot of dark implications surrounding her and her past experiences with people, in regards to, like, her nymphs and stuff like that, and it makes me wonder, like, what happened? I obviously don't know the lore and shit like that. I don't know what the fuck happened with Circe or whatever. But it clearly seems to be mainly targeted towards men. But something happened that has caused her to now have her guard up. Similar to how Odysseus has now had this, altercation with Poseidon, where he has now been forced to kind of learn this lesson of ruthlessness, right? Someone did the same thing to Circe. And now she's ruthless to anyone that shows up to her door, just out of precaution, right? She doesn't understand or needs to understand anything about Odysseus' background or anything like that. She just knows, look, you're here and you're not supposed to be here. You're a threat. Similar to how the Cyclops understood that, I don't know who the fuck you are. You're in my cave. You're a threat regardless. I don't care what you came here to do initially. You're a threat because you're somewhere you shouldn't be, okay? And this is a mindset that Odysseus will eventually, he'll eventually take this on as well. But it makes you wonder, what happened? Like, why does Circe have her guard up like this? I don't know.
I could put a spell on you when you're done for. Boy, you better run or soon you will be done for.
I don't mean to tip your scale, but you will fail at placing any spells on me. I just ate a flower, one that claims your power, so you better cower now and flee.
Gave it to you, didn't he?
Okay, fine, yes, but regardless.
You and I are now evenly matched. Our fates are intertwined, they're attached.
But everyone's true colors are revealed in acts of lust.
Oh,
Not sure I follow.
hold on.
There are
Hey, Odysseus is a stronger man than me. I probably would have folded. Hold on.
Who's to say with all mistakes I've made
Don't be
that they will be the
Think
last
of your
mistakes?
heart.
He's venting right now. He's actually venting.
There's no perfect here.
I can't. She's like, okay.
Back at home, my wife awaits for me. She's my everything, my Penelope, and she's all my power, all my power.
He's fighting love with love. I love this realization here. It's like, it's almost like she's seeing something that she thought was long dead or long gone. And it's kind of funny. It's like the chivalry is dead kind of thing. Because we obviously don't know her past. But I think someone wronged her. That happened to be a man that made her kind of look at all the men that come across her path with skepticism, like immediately, right? So I think that applies to every situation that she's, put herself in moving forward. So now she has her guard up. But now that she's seeing this, she's like, huh, okay, maybe there is hope. Maybe he's one of the good ones. He should stay. I think we need more leaders, more figures like this around, because as she says later in the song, like perhaps one day a puppeteer won't be needed anymore or something like that, right?
Wait, you're helping us?
There are many ways of persuasion. There are many modes of control. Maybe showing one act of kindness leads to kinder souls down the.
I love this depiction too. You see all these other like women in the garden, I guess, and they're all like looking at her like, whoa, like should we be on guard here? What's the situation here? And then when she sees her give like, the positive reinforcement, like, don't worry, he's with me, it's fine. They're like, oh. And they're like, oh, it's nice to see that. Like, it's like they're seeing something that they haven't seen in a long time from Cersei. Like I don't know. You animators are killing this shit.
I have been in love once before. Maybe one day the world will need a puppeteer no more.
It's like she has hope now.
Maybe one day the world will need a puppeteer.
So much power, but there's no puppet here. No, she's not a bitch, she's a puppeteer. No, she's not a bitch, she's a puppeteer, yeah. Friends, Cersei's instructions were clear. No matter what we hear, full speed ahead. Here in the underworld, the past seems close behind. This land confuses your mind.
I like how the crew have to reassure him. It's like when they went in there, he was like, everybody focus, all right? We know what we're here to do. Nobody lose focus, okay? And then he's the one that immediately folds off to the point where the crew needs to remind him, this land confuses your mind. Like, it's fine. Don't listen to it.
558 men who died under your command.
So something Jay pointed out in one of his TikToks, I don't remember which one, but he said that the underworld, or like all the souls, they're just recanting their last thoughts before they died, essentially. So everything they're saying is like almost like their regrets, or like their questions, their grievances they have towards the captain, of like, why didn't you kill the Cyclops? Like why? Like, it doesn't make sense. We died because of that.
The Cyclops live when ruthlessness is mercy.
All I hear are screams every time I dare to close my eyes. I know
The build up in the song is so good. Like, it feels so grandiose, so like climactic, which makes sense. It's the Act 1 closer, or at least these three songs are. And I don't know, all three of them in the Underworld Saga specifically, they feel really big. Like holy shit, like this is a lot of weight. That's the best way to describe it. If I could describe the Underworld Saga, it's just weight. Something to note, so like I said before, if all of the souls in the Underworld are essentially recanting their last thoughts before death, like this kind of confirms to Odysseus that like I don't need to be the one to take on his legacy. He died happy. I didn't actually fail him. I may have failed the others, but my best friend died believing that it wasn't my fault, and he died still believing what he believes. Like he went out the way he lived, and this kind of plants the seed in Odysseus's head of like, okay, maybe it's okay. Maybe I can do things my way. Like maybe Athena was right. Like I can't just be kind to everyone and hope things work out. If I want to get home, I'm gonna have to be a little ruthless.
Oh, jeez.
And then this right here, this is the straw that breaks the camel's back.
That voice. It can't be. Mom? I took too long.
So well delivered. I took too long. I love that shit, bro. But damn, like this is it right here. Like this is when the stakes feel real, you know, for him at least, you know. Like everything around him in the present, like Polyphemus dying, the men dying, yeah, those stakes, you know, they were real, but like these are his real stakes. The things he really gives a shit about is everyone waiting for him at home. And now realizing that, like, holy shit, okay, like my mom died because I took too long. Like, time is an actual factor. I can't afford to waste time. Like, you know, eventually my son or my wife, they could be killed. Like, I can't fuck around anymore. Like this is like the stakes are real.
Bye, Mom.
The pain, the anger.
All I hear are screams. Every time I dare close my eyes, I no longer dream.
It captures pain and the raw emotion so well, dude. So well. And let me tell you, this shit right here, this is peak. This is peak.
I am the prophet with the answers you seek. I see a song of past romance. I see the sacrifice of man. I see poor child.
The man, how do you do that, Mason?
Now you tell us our efforts for nothing.
Here's the thing. The devil's in the details, my friend. Pay attention to what he's actually saying. This is why I really love this song, because he's literally telling him everything. Literally everything. It's very cryptic, yes, but Odysseus is not listening. He's taking everything at face value. He didn't hear anything he said but the last thing. And he's like, so what? You're saying I can't get home. Is that what you're saying? Well, what's the point? Right? And then Tiresias, despite being blind, he's actually not the blind one here. It's Odysseus. And that's just fucking brilliant, bro. Holy fuck. That shit's tough.
I see your wife with a man who is haunting, a man with a trail of bodies.
Here's the thing, he's not listening. Like, he lays, who? And then Tiresias is like, motherfucker, I just told you who. Do I need to say it again? Here!
I see a man who gets to make it home alive, but it's no longer you.
Clap it up for Mason, bro. Mason, perfectly casted. Perfectly casted. Beautiful voice. Jeez!
How has everything been turned against us?
That's one thing I really like about this song is how, I guess, retrospective it is. Like, this is him actually, for once, looking inward at all the past decisions he's made and starting to question maybe they were just bad decisions. Like, maybe it really is my fault. Maybe I'm the reason all this shit happened and it could have all been avoided. And honestly, that's something he really needed to do to understand that, you know what, maybe Poseidon was spitting. Hold on, he might have been right.
What if I'm the one who killed you every time I gave the guilt? What if I've been far too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves?
It's like the nail on the head. What if I've been too kind to foes, but a monster to ourselves? This is what I mean. As a captain, you can't prioritize your emotions, your guilt, your feelings, you know, over the lives of those around you, because that's ultimately what you were asking for. It's like the moment you set everyone else's needs aside just so you can maintain this, you know, super happy lifestyle. It's like, nah, bruh, we need a real leader. We need someone who's ruthless to help us get home. And every step of the way, you've been faltering, you've been failing.
Is the Cyclops struck with guilt when he kills? Is he up in the middle of the night? Or does he end my men to avenge his friend and then sleep knowing he has done him right?
That's what I mean, this retrospective look at all the past events and seeing like all the antagonists with a different perspective, a different lens, it really adds so much to their characters. Because, like, you know, Odysseus's understanding of the way they lived, it just didn't click for him. But now it's all starting to click. He's starting to understand why they act the way they do, why they have this sense of ruthlessness innately in them against anyone. You know, like, if you're a stranger to me, like, I gotta have my guard up. And that's something that he's been lacking this entire time. And this is why he's been failing and failing. Because the world is the problem. It's the world that they live in. Is that the Cyclops understands that. Circe understood that. Poseidon certainly understands that. But why don't you? And this is the lesson that Athena was trying to teach him. It's like, listen, if you kill him, you guys are going to be fine. But if you don't kill him, you know what's the funny thing? All the other gods, whenever they get Odysseus to do something, all they do is implant his head with information and allow him to decide what needs to be done next. Athena, in that moment with the Cyclops, was being direct and telling him, finish it, kill him. And that's where she fucked up. She tried to teach him a lesson without actually explaining what the lesson is, right? She just said, just kill it. I know you should kill it because that's the right thing to do. I know I have the foresight and the experience of the way things work in this world. So I understand, but he doesn't understand. And if she maybe have handled that situation differently, maybe in a way that Zeus does, where she explains explicitly, hey, this person is the son of Poseidon. Me personally, I wouldn't do that. But hey, do what you want to do. And maybe he would have thought differently about that situation. I don't know, something to think about.
Does a soldier use a wooden horse to kill sleeping Trojans cause he is vile?
And this is why, like, not only is he looking back at all the foes that he's encountered, he's also looking back at himself and what he used to be and what he did. And he's like, you know, am I really any different? Who am I to try and be better than them? And this is Odysseus' big problem. This is why I love this shit so much, bro. His pride extends like far outside of just being cockiness. Like, he genuinely thinks he's self-righteous. He genuinely thinks he's better. I'm just better than everything. Like I morally, like it's like, no, you're not, bro. No, you're not. You killed a kid, bro. Like, you went and like genocided a whole fucking nation or some shit, bro. You're not a saint. So don't try and act like one. And that was Poseidon's issue with this dude. He's like, bro, I don't know who the fuck you think you are, but you're no different from any of us. So you could try and act like, oh, I'm going to be this super nice and kind leader. Like, no, bro, we know what you are. We know exactly who you are.
Would that make us stronger? Would it keep our foes at bay?
See, similar to how in Open Arms, he started asking himself those questions. Now he's doing the same thing about, you know, becoming a monster. He's like, you know, maybe this is the way.
I made sure we got home again. Who would care if we're unjust?
And this is what I like. Who would care if we're unjust? Now he's really starting to, like, you know, justify it a little bit in his head. You know, he's literally throwing away the guilt. He's like, well, who would care? You know, as long as we make it home, we make it home. Who genuinely gives a shit if we do all these atrocities on the way back? Right? Who, like, yeah, I would probably personally care because I have to live with that shit, but like, I have to throw that away. Rationale this. Like, overstep this boundary, my line.
Who would care if we're unjust? If I became the...
You hear that? That's the crew. The dead crew chanting, monster. They're like, yes, give in. Become the monster.
Oh, ruthlessness is mercy.
Then he starts chanting it. He's thinking about it.
And deep down I know this well.
I lost my best friend, I lost my mentor, my mom, 500 men gone. This can't go on, I must get to see Penelope
and Telemachus. So if we must sail through dangerous oceans and beaches, I'll go where Poseidon won't reach us. And if I gotta drop another infant from a wall in an instant so we all don't die, then I'll become the monster. I will deal the blow, and then we'll make it home.
Dude, finishing it how we started it with the Penelope Telemachus. Like, bro, talk about a climax. Exactly how we started it. Ain't shit changed. This is the goal. Lock in. And you know what? You know what, GG? I know y'all peeped that. I know y'all peeped that. What does she do? What does she do? She strips him of the guilt. She literally strips him of Polyphemus' headband. Oh my God. You animators, you artists, you are gods. You're gods. Literally, bro. Like, literally strips him of it. She's taking the suffering away from him. Quite literally. GG. Whew. Now he can focus on the task at hand. He's locked in.
Become the monster.